There's so much happening in a coaching conversation that most coaches miss. Words are only a fraction of what your client is communicating. And if you're only tracking words, you're coaching with about 20% of the available data. In this video, we're continuing with Marker 5.01, exploring what it means to be observant and empathetic as part of maintaining presence. As coaches, we're trained to focus on words. That makes sense. Words carry meaning, and we want to understand what our clients are telling us. But here's what I want you to see. There's so much more happening beneath the surface. Think of it like an iceberg. The words are what's visible above the waterline, but underneath, that's where you find tone, energy, body language, facial expressions, the things they're not saying. Your job as a coach is to expand your awareness to everything happening in the conversation, the complete picture of your client's experience. So what exactly should you be watching for? Start with tone and pace. Notice when their voice shifts, when it speeds up with excitement or slows down with heaviness. Listen for pauses and rhythm changes. Watch body language and posture. Are they leaning in or pulling back? What are their hands doing? Sense energy shifts when their energy rises, falls, or gets stuck. Watch facial expressions, those micro moments that flash across their face before they can mask them. And pay attention to what's not being said, the topics they dance around, the questions they dodge, the meaningful silences. All of this is data. Here's how ICF frames this in Marker 5.01. The coach remains focused, observant, so that they hear and see and feel and recognize what is happening with the client, empathetic and responsive. Notice all those verbs: hear, see, feel, recognize. This isn't passive watching, it's active sensing. You're taking in information through multiple channels simultaneously: your ears, your eyes, your felt sense of what's happening in the space between you. That's what it means to be truly observant as a coach. Now let's talk about empathy, because this is where observation gets its power. Empathy means you can sense into their experience without losing yourself in it. And that's a crucial distinction. You're not feeling what they feel. That would be sympathy, and it actually reduces your effectiveness. Instead, you're recognizing what they might be experiencing, sensing the weight of what they're carrying without needing them to name it. When you can genuinely sense into their world while maintaining your own center, your observations become more accurate and more nuanced. You pick up on things you'd miss if you were just intellectually analyzing. Here's a distinction that trips up a lot of coaches. There's a difference between observing and interpreting. Observation is gathering data, what's actually happening. You notice they leaned back and looked away. You see their shoulders tighten when they say, "I'm fine." You hear their voice drop. That's observation, pure data about what's occurring. Interpretation is making meaning, assuming you know why. And here's the thing, being observant is about gathering the data. What you do with that data is a separate skill that requires permission and partnership with your client. Don't jump from noticing to knowing. Stay curious about what your observations might mean. Your observations become the raw material for your questions, your reflections, your intuitions. Without accurate observation, you're coaching in the dark, guessing at what might be happening instead of responding to what is. So you're focused, you're observing. Now, what do you do with all of that? The answer is respond. And that's different from leading. Let's look at what responsive actually means in the next video.